is cloudy. We just had rain yesterday, rain all night. But the sun is going to come out today, probably in the afternoon. So the morning feels pretty much like my mind right now. When I wake up in the morning, it takes me hours to actually wake up fully. Hard to explain this to people that wake up and are ready to go. I used to be that way. Did I used to be that way? No, I've always been this way, actually. I just forced myself to be other ways before because I had to. Okay, so live today. Yesterday in my life, I did not, I wasn't able to access the chat window after the fact. And so I don't know, I didn't see any of the messages that were written while I was doing the live, which is too bad. Today, I just want to do the cringe thing about trying to read this a little chapter on this book. I'm trying to start reading books again. I went through so many years of not reading books, and it's not what I wanted to do in my life. I wanted to be a reader. I began my teenage years being a reader, and I loved it so much, and then I stopped. I stopped because, I guess sometimes it's hard to do too many things at once, and I was living life. I had a lot of life things to do. I moved countries. I had a lot of adaptation to do, learning. So it's okay. Let me try to do the cringe thing about reading this book. It's going to be cringe because I'm not used to reading out loud. And sometimes it's hard to see, but let's try. If it's awful, then it's awful. Chapter 9, Entering the Kingdom. Now let us review again briefly to be sure that we understand each other so far. Each of us functions mentally in a dual fashion. Objectively, we work through our brain with its power of observation, comparison, reasoning, and imagination, relating to things on our limited mundane plane. Subjectively, we work through our solar plexus with its access to the unlimited power of the universal subjective mind. Your brain can direct the activities of your solar plexus. Or, to put it in another way, your objective can direct your subjective mind. For convenience, we speak of these two minds. Okay, wait, I already made a mistake. For convenience, we speak of these two minds, though in reality, let me start a third time. For convenience, we speak of these as two minds, though in reality they are but different expressions of the one mind. By deciding objectively what shall come into our life and impressing the picture of that desire forcefully on our subjective, we can bring about these conditions as you wish. I made another mistake there, didn't you? This is annoying, right? I'm sorry. I'm going to try one more time. By deciding subjectively what shall come into our life and impressing the picture of that desire forcefully on your subjective, you can bring about these conditions as you wish before your very eyes in due time. These images, which we impress on the subjective, we call thought forms. The process of using them we call consciously creating circumstances. The successful people of this world are chiefly distinguished from the laggards by reason of their use of thought forms, consciously or otherwise. So some people do this even unconsciously, naturally. This takes us in outline through our previous discussions. Now let us go on to further details of your basic thought form. You are probably anxious for me to give you specific suggestions about how to get a job or a better job, money, a wife, or a husband. But please listen to me. Do not form any specific thought form for a while. Stick to the basic general thought form. It won't be easy to be patient, but it will be worthwhile. Let me give you 7 reminders. Make your thought form constructive. I know this is really important. They all say this. No negativity whatsoever, no doubts. You have to fully believe in what you desire, fully. You must not have any doubt. Number 2, include benefit to others as well as yourself. Don't be selfish. Number 3, make it practical. Number 4, concentrate on what you want to be or do, not on what you want to have. Concentrate this thought form on what you want to be or do, not on what you want to have. 5, visualize the thought form as worked out now. In other words, it already is. 6, make the thought form relate to yourself as the agent of good. And good, he put it in capital initial, good. Number 7, act constantly in full faith that your thought form is working out. Hi, Zebby. How you doing? Your life can be just as wonderful as you decide to make it. Now keep that brain of yours quiet with its habitual objections and doubts and hesitations. I repeat, your life can be just as wonderful as you decide to make it, provided only that you use your truths. Sorry, I made another mistake because I'm paying attention to the chat. Thank you, Jenna. I love you too. Thank you. Today I'm going to answer to the chat while I'm doing this because yesterday I was saying, you guys, I didn't save the chat. I don't know how to do that. The video before saved the chat, but the video yesterday didn't. I love you too. Okay, I'm going to continue because I made a mistake here in the end. It's getting harder to see too. I know this is probably annoying for most people, but I want to read this book with you. I repeat, your life can be just as wonderful as you decide to make it, provided only that you use the truths which the real you does not need to be convinced of, for it already knows them, but which the shell you call your body needs to be stirred into using actively. All power in heaven or on earth is yours, individually to command. Yes, I said all power. The great laws of the universe have brought you to this point after eons and eons. Sorry, he said after eons of eons, where, as a self-conscious individualized entity, you have had the key to nature's great storehouse. And then he emphasizes this. Put right into your palm. Can't you almost feel it burning your flesh with its divine fire? Can't you hear its stirring message that says, "Come, my friend and brother, use me. There is nothing that shall be held back from you when once I have turned the lock. Let my golden substance turn this world into the kingdom of heaven for you now." Thank you, Jenna. You are so sweet. You are at school? Well, shouldn't you be paying attention to your teacher? Thank you for being here, you guys. I know that these lives make their way to a lot of different countries. Argentina. Hi, I'm from Brazil. I was born in Brazil. So I'm your neighbor, but I'm in the US. I've been in the US for many years. I'm in California. The book is getting excited at this point, huh? But my reading is dismal. However, I want to get used to reading, and that's the way that I'm gonna do is by practicing. I'd like to read books on some of my videos. Let me see how long this chapter is. Not too long. I don't know if I do the live all the way to the end. Um, let's see how many minutes. 11 minutes. I think I'm gonna do all the way to the end. Whoever wants to stay can stay. If you want to come back, you can come back. So we stopped at the point where he was talking about us being able to being created for as creators. It's naturally ours, this ability to create anything here. You know, deep inside my mind, I believe that, and I'm trying to remove all the obstacles to seeing this because I believe that we all know this deep inside. We have to. Animals do. Animals naturally live this way, and we're not even paying attention to notice that all of nature is creation happening every day around us. I'm going to begin reading again. Here, to some, may be an impious thought. If you consider the kingdom of heaven something to be hoped for after death, but not to be aspired to during life, banish that thought instantly and forever. The kingdom of heaven is everywhere available at all times to those who seek it. And let not him that seeketh cease from his search until he find, says the Master. And when he finds, he shall wander, and wandering he shall reach the kingdom. And when he reaches the kingdom, he shall have rest. I would suggest for you serious consideration that we have been discussing the kingdom of heaven by another name. I wonder whether you have spotted it under the cloak of analysis we have thrown around it. Yes, my friend, one aspect of the kingdom of heaven is the universal mind. Now, I want you to stop reading this book in a moment and do something. I want you to build up for yourself a picture of whatever you, as a subject of the kingdom of heaven on earth, would ask in the way of powers, joys, happiness. Make the picture as nearly perfect as your imagination can conceive. Keep it on this earth. Remember, because this is practical. So, in other words, you have to imagine something that can happen practically. And make it helpful for others as well as yourself. Hi, Barry. How are you? Haven't seen you in a while. Um, Yeah, I don't think it's just one snake. As I said in the video, I think there were three at that moment. I don't know. Later, I kept thinking like, could it have been just one snake that made her way around? It could. I don't want to think the worst scenario, but to be honest, I live. There's a huge national forest not far from my home, and there's several empty lots. So I'm sure they have been here. I'm sure they are everywhere. I just don't see them because I'm not paying attention. And hopefully I'll never step on one because yeah, I don't want to start being afraid. When I start being afraid, I just go in a spiral and it just grows. So the light has been getting worse. It's really cloudy today. It's harder and harder to read this book. Where did I stop? It's nice to see you today, Barry. Snake that lives below the floor there. Yeah, under the house. Go ahead now, do it. Never mind why. We are going to stop while you build up that picture. Put yourself mentally into the kingdom of heaven on earth. Seriously, do not read further for the next 5 or 10 minutes while you concentrate on a picture of what the kingdom of heaven on earth would mean to you. Okay, now, so if you're gonna do this, this is the point where you stop the video. And then when you do that, you come back. He says, all right, now you have just created your basic permanent thought form. So far, you have only created it consciously with your objective mind. Hold fast to it. Perhaps you will want to write it down. But that is only part of the process. Now let's complete it. You are now to speak mentally to your subjective mind, concentrating on your solar plexus as your link to universal mind. Impress it with that picture of yourself in the kingdom of heaven on earth as powerfully as you know how. Never mind whether you are doing it just right. You are making a start. You will do this many, many more times. Just like my reading books here. I know I'm doing it very poorly, but it's something I want to do, so I'm just starting today. I'm going to read the chat a little bit. You make cool videos. You, that fool dog, the timid dog, now the snake. You cannot buy that combo. I know, right? Those are my companies, all these animals. And the addition of the snakes is a unplanned one, but it was expected. I didn't even speak about all the spiders I saw the other day. That's gonna be for another video. Hundreds of spiders. I'll tell you the story later. And someday I'll show you guys all the. This is gonna be during the summer because they haven't been here yet fully. They are around, but not as plentiful as they are when it gets warm. All the wasps, the bees and wasps, all the pollinators. I'm gonna show you in summer when they're here for good. They're still in their homes and not fully out because it's been cold. It's been hot and cold, hot and cold. Today and yesterday, I had to turn on the heater, but in a couple of days, it's going to be like 80s or 90s. Very hot. And this is what the month of April and May are. Should I continue reading? Maybe I'll stop. I know it's probably getting boring. I think I'm going to stop the video now. Thank you guys for being here. This book is called Consciously Creating Circumstances. And let me see when it was written. I know it's sold. Let's see what it says right here. Man is not the creature of circumstances. Circumstances are the creatures of man. Okay, so this is the 9th edition, I believe. I don't know how to read this. It says copyright 1939. Okay, that's when it was published. But the first edition was published in 1935. So it's an old book and the language is old. All right, I put another cover on it. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.